for a Next News special report.
And now for a special report you simply cannot miss. In a decisive move that will undoubtedly send shockwaves across our great republic, the U.S. Supreme Court has firmly stood by former President Donald Trump. They declined to hear the desperate challenge by a little-known Republican presidential candidate aiming to thwart Donald Trump's potential 2024 win, all based on allegations tied to the events of January 6th. Trump supporters, the decision is a monumental victory, an affirmation of the process. But stay with us until the very end of this report. You don't want to miss our final thought, where we dive deep into why this story matters deeply to every patriot in our republic. We're diving straight into a topic that's been heating up political circles across the nation. The question on everyone's lips: can Trump win in 2024? Can he run? Can he be on the ballot? Well, the U.S. Supreme Court, our highest judicial body, has answered resoundingly, yes, he can. The man at the center of this latest legal tussle is John Anthony Castro, a relatively obscure Republican presidential hopeful. Castro attempted, some would say audaciously, to have the Supreme Court disqualify Trump from holding office because of the events of January 6th. Yet the Supreme Court chose to deny the case without even a hint of a comment. This turn of events should hardly be surprising. The essence of Castro's argument was anchored on the 14th Amendment, a Civil War-era provision originally tailored to bar former Confederacy members from office. He contended that the Capitol riot qualified as an insurrection as defined by Section 3 of this amendment, and Trump, Castro alleged, lent support to the insurrectionists through words of encouragement. However, let's take a moment to think. Do the events of January 6th really mirror the intensity of the Civil War? Most would argue they don't. It's a stretch at best. Still, this hasn't stopped Castro and those of a similar mindset from desperately latching onto this fringe legal theory. Now, on X, formerly known as Twitter, Castro voiced his opinion post-Supreme Court announcement. He still seems hopeful, mentioning pursuing decisions in liberal appellate courts and references an impending trial in New Hampshire as well as Arizona. It's fascinating, isn't it? How the mere possibility of a Trump 2024 win has some scrambling for the rule book, attempting to maneuver anything to block his path. But before we proceed further, let's take a brief detour. Imagine, if you will, the scenario where you're battling sleepless nights, much like how Castro seems to be wrestling with Trump's 2024 win. It's in these times that you need Sleep Miracle Plus. Just as the Supreme Court delivered clarity today, Sleep Miracle Plus, recommended by Dr. Bruce Fong and experts at Sierra Integrative Medical Center, offer a potent mix of natural ingredients like chamomile extract, valerian root, ensuring that you drift into peaceful slumber. Its patented liposome delivery ensures maximum absorption. Don't let restless nights dominate. Dive into the rejuvenating power of Sleep Miracle Plus. And for those interested, there's a special offer waiting at GetSleepMiracle.com, 50% off, with auto ship and attempting buy one, get one free promotion. Superior sleep could be just a click away. Now back to our story. Trump's challenge isn't isolated. Activists, both liberal and conservative, in states like Colorado, Minnesota, and Michigan have filed similar lawsuits. Their claims: to remove Trump from the 2024 ballot, often citing the 14th Amendment as their primary weapon. And now a fresh update from West Virginia, where a similar lawsuit has been thrust into the spotlight. A report from WTRF News revealed a lawsuit filed to keep the former president off the 2024 ballot, stemming from efforts by a Texas Republican, John Anthony Castro. This very individual has attempted to duplicate this effort across multiple states. Watch.
But first, a lawsuit has been filed in West Virginia to keep former President Donald Trump off the 2024 ballot. Thank you for joining us for 7 News at 10. I'm Colin Roos. That suit originated with a Texas Republican named John Anthony Castro, who filed it in multiple states. Castro claims Trump can't hold political office because of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. The amendment says that anyone who has, quote, engaged in insurrection or rebellion, unquote, against the U.S. cannot run for office. As it stands, Mr. Trump has never been convicted on those charges. We spoke to West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore Capito about it, who calls the whole situation ridiculous and says it's likely being funded by anti-Trump activists.
We have laws in our state. We have a Secretary of State who's a very good election officer. And I think this is a ridiculous attack on former President Trump and on the Republican Party. So I would oppose that. And hopefully it won't get any more attention than it has now, because I think it's bound to lose in court.
The version of this lawsuit filed in Florida has already lost in court. State Senator Ryan Weld of Brooke County had even harsher words, accusing Castro of lying about being a West Point graduate and calling it yet another political stunt.
In Colorado, a coalition comprising of 6 Republicans and independent voters took action to block Trump from the 2024 race, once again leaning on the 14th Amendment. In their view, Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold's branding of Trump as a liar and her assertion that barring him from the ballot would be tantamount to election interference hit the nail on the head. But shifting our gaze back to West Virginia, the lawsuit's premise there is eerily familiar. Citing Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, Castro argues that Trump's alleged engagement in insurrection or rebellion disqualifies him from future political office. Yet it's crucial to underscore that Trump has never been convicted on these charges. West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore Caputo weighed in on the legal maneuver, as you saw, lambasting it as ridiculous. In her eyes, the lawsuit, like many others, might just be another play funded by anti-Trump activists. She confidently states that we have laws in our state, we have a Secretary of State who's competent election officer. This is merely a baseless attack on the former president and the Republican Party. Her sentiments were echoed by State Senator Ryan Weld of Brooke County, who not only criticized the lawsuit, but also accused Castro of fabricating claims about being a West Point graduate. To him, it's nothing more than a political ruse. Now in Minnesota, a group of voters voiced their concern, stating that Trump had breached his oath of office and engaged in insurrection. Meanwhile, in Michigan, the narrative took a sharper tone. A far-left organization sought Trump's disqualification from the 2024 ballot, accusing him of inciting a violent insurrection. Their words were pointed. Donald Trump violated his oath of office and incited a violent insurrection, disrupted the peaceful transfer of power for the first time in our nation's history. That was a remark from Free Speech for People legal director Ron Fain. Amid these fiery claims, there's also been some pushback. In a significant and scathing ruling, Judge Robin Rosenberg determined that Attorney Lawrence Kaplan lacked the standing to file a lawsuit seeking to block Trump from the 2024 ballot. While these court battles wage on, it's vital to remember that the political machinery is also in motion. In Arizona, the Secretary of State and former cartel lawyer Adrian Fontes is mulling over Trump's 2024 eligibility. In New Hampshire, the initial doubts about Trump's presidential run were put to rest as the Secretary of State confirmed Trump's place on the ballot. So this Supreme Court decision, though specific to Castro's claims, sends a very strong message. It underscores the resilience of our judicial system, highlighting its refusal to bend under political pressures. The decision not hearing Castro's case effectively safeguards Trump's political ambitions, solidifying his position as a GOP frontrunner for 2024. So tonight we've waded through legal intricacies, understood fringe theories, and recognized the fervor with which some factions aim to stifle Trump's potential 2024 ambitions. Yet, as the sun sets, it becomes clear that our Supreme Court has chosen to stand by the principles of our republic. This isn't just about Trump, it's about setting precedents, ensuring that our legal process remain untouched by partisanship and undue pressures. Today, the Supreme Court's refusal to hear Castro's case isn't a mere legal formality, it's an affirmation of our republic's strength, a testament to its robustness.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.